This is what you see if you're a local out here. You see a wall. A wall that separates you from all the glistening skyscrapers and the wealth. Welcome to Manila's most desirable neighborhood, Fort Bonifacio, also known as BGC. This is where all the bankers are, where all the money is, all the skyscrapers. It's a very desirable place to be. But interestingly, right next to this neighborhood, in fact, right behind these buildings, are the slums. The slums of Manila. And that is part of the giant contrast that you can see in this city. We're gonna go and explore that today. Let's go. We're up here in Uptown BGC. Behind me, you have the Uptown Mall. It's full of all kinds of American brands, foreign brands, all the high-end stuff. A real church to consumerism. Around that, all these skyscrapers, all the international companies. Normally this wouldn't be that interesting, but I want to go upstairs and show you something. It's the most Filipino thing I've ever found.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm not completely sure that those security checks serve any purpose whatsoever. Alright, so check this out. Right over here, right next to the Starbucks coffee, we have an actual chapel, an actual church in the Church of Consumerism. So while you're over here doing your clothes shopping, going to the restaurant, stop by over here, say a little prayer, then you'll get back home safe. I mean, if that's not the most Filipino thing I've ever seen, I don't know what is. Alright, let's continue the walk. There's a lot to show. A lot of history to tell. Got the little family mart here. One of my favorite things from Japan. They've even got the fried chicken inside. So I'm going to take you with me on a walk to go downtown at BGC. Further downtown, there's a very interesting cemetery dedicated to all the soldiers who died in World War II. I think you might be interested. This sign is really funny. This is by far the hottest real estate market in all the Philippines. So the demand for land is through the roof. Everybody wants to build, build, build. For whatever reason, the owner of this land plot right here doesn't want to sell. Probably because of the pandemic. The pandemic will do a number on your economy, especially when you close it for like 2 years straight. So after World War II, the U.S. relinquished control of the Philippines, and the Filipinos took back control of their own land, including this military base, which they renamed the Fort Bonifacio, after a national Filipino hero. In the 70s and 1980s, a certain controversial Filipino president started to use this area, this military base, as a host of detention centers, where they housed terrorists, political dissidents. Look at this neat, organized set of different trash cans right here to sort your garbage. So hey, you want to know something really wild? Look at this building behind me, the Home Depot, which I don't think is affiliated with the regular Home Depot. But anyway, this building, this giant warehouse over here, this used to be host to a giant detention center, a giant prison. Political prisoners. Future politicians and presidents of the Philippines were housed there. And of course, here's Starbucks right next to it. When did it change from prison to furniture store? So? I heard this used to be like a prison in the 70s and 80s. Is that true? This building.
This building, sir?
Yeah.
I don't know, sir, how many years this one, sir.
Oh, okay, okay.
But try to ask the guard, sir.
Kind of hard not to imagine that these didn't used to be jail cells over here. You know the history of this building by any chance? I heard it used to be a prison. You don't know?
But if you really want to, you can ask for the personnel to get an approval to our office about getting more information about this building.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Really kind of wild to think that most of the people in that building right now have no idea it used to be a detention center. But hey, I'm sure we have some buildings like that in the US still. So the craziest thing to think about when you're walking around here is that a little over 20 years ago, none of this was here. None of these skyscrapers, none of these buildings. It was all just a big military camp with a few prisons mixed in. Then, in the 90s, the whole area was privatized. Some private developers bought up the land. You can see what happened. And quite admittedly, I like this area. I hang out here a lot. I often stay in an Airbnb in this area when I'm in Manila. You know, all the good restaurants and stuff are here. It's very clean, it's very nicely organized. Kind of reminds you of Singapore a little bit. It's, you know, authoritarian, but in a nice way. And while this area may be extremely expensive for the locals here in the Philippines, if you're coming here on a salary from the US or Western Europe, you can get an apartment here for $500 a month. $500 a month. And you've seen what this area looks like. Plus all the nice bars and restaurants are here. You know, the world is changing. The world is changing. It's getting harder and harder to justify paying $4,000 a month to live in Manhattan. So yeah, a lot of nice things to say about here. But you gotta keep in mind the crazy history. So coming up, just behind that gate over there in the distance, is a cemetery dedicated to the soldiers of World War II. The Philippines saw some of the harshest and most brutal fighting in all of the war. Many, many people died, both from the Philippines, from the US, and Japan. But this cemetery, if I recall correctly, is dedicated to the US. Manila American Cemetery and Memorial. Hi, magandang tanghali. The U.S. controlled the Philippines with the U.S. military at that time were quickly overrun by the Japanese military. 4 years later, the U.S. military returned and they fought a giant battle in Manila, where thousands of U.S. and Filipino soldiers died, along with 100,000 Filipino civilians. It was brutal. With the liberation of the Philippines from the Japanese, the US finally left and gave the Filipinos their independence. But they continued to lease this land in perpetuity to serve as a cemetery for all those who died in the war. Now, with all this talk I do about the US military, I must come off as a very patriotic American. And while I admit that I do have family that has served in the US military, hoorah, I wouldn't say, you know, I'm not objective. The US is far from a perfect country, but this was World War II. World War II, when America, China, and Russia were all on the same team. Imagine that. Okay, so we're at the Hyatt Hotel, probably the most expensive hotel in the city. And they've got a bar on the 60th floor, which is supposed to have a cool view.
Sorry, the floor selected is a restricted floor. Door closing.
Why is it restricted? How do I go to the 60th floor?
60th floor. For now, sir, 60th floor are closed. We only open until starting 5 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Thank you. Well, that sucks. That's like 5 hours from now. God, it's really not good at making conventional travel plans. Well, think I'm gonna have to come up with a cheaper solution. I've got an idea. But first, I want to show you something. God, that's like the third Starbucks we've seen in like a 2-block radius. Right behind these buildings filled with luxury restaurants and apartments, you reach the outer edges of BGC. And BGC is flanked on all ends by these walls that separate it from the slums that surround it. An old guy just came by and closed that gate as soon as I stepped out of it. BGC started off as a fort, and in a way, it still is. BGC is surrounded on all sides, and there's only a few roads that go in and out. But the people that live in the neighborhoods surrounding BGC, you're literally just looking in and wondering what it's like. But I have a problem. I kind of need a Western Union, and that's the one thing at BGC that they don't have. I gotta go to Western Union to send some money to South America, which I know sounds a little bit suspicious. To get to Western Union, you're gonna have to walk into one of those neighborhoods. Walk across it, in fact. Just beyond this fence in that building, you have a whole different world. The Filipinos tell me if I walk into that neighborhood, they're gonna try to rob me. Challenge accepted. But first, let's go get that drink on the roof. And we're back. Now, this may be the 20th floor, but not the 60th floor. And this can of San Miguel beer may not be a fancy cocktail, but I think it's just as good. That's good. That's really good. Very underrated beer right there. San Miguel from the Philippines. Sounds like it's from Spain or Colombia or something. But no, it's from the Philippines. This is all the view that I need. From here, I've got a view of the 2 different stories of this city. We're about to go see a different one. We can't just sit up here in our ivory towers clutching our pearls. We gotta get down there. I gotta go wire some money. So give me a second, I'm gonna finish this beer, go back to my apartment, we're gonna get going. So I decided if we're gonna walk into a sketchy area, I should probably change my shirt. I wanna look a little more inconspicuous. I even changed the camera, back of my old camera. These are like the outer edges of BGC right here. And what I'm wondering is, how do I get into that neighborhood over there? I think I saw an entrance if we go under this bridge. It's always the start of a good time, walking under a bridge. So I'm not gonna lie, this looks a little bit suspect. There's only one road into the slum and one road out. The locals have been telling me that these neighborhoods right next to BGC are some of the sketchiest in the city. I guess you could argue the surroundings are a little more mundane compared to the skyscrapers we were just walking through. I almost feel like I'm back in South America. Everybody's got bars on the windows and the doors again. Here's all the jeepneys. The jeepneys are not allowed to go into BGC proper, so you don't see them. This is wild. I'm looking up at now is the building that I've been staying in. The place with my Airbnb. Place that you got to pay about $600 a month to stay in, which is super expensive by local standards. This is my first time seeing BGC from this perspective. This is what you see if you're a local out here. You see a wall. A wall that separates you from all the glistening skyscrapers and the wealth. Hey, another question. How much does it cost to rent a room around here?
Bed space, it's 2.5.
2.5.
Yes.
250?
2,500.
2,500. Okay.
Bed space only.
Bed space only. Okay, so it's like a bed in a shared room?
Yes.
Do a lot of people do that and then they go to work in BGC?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, because it's very close. Thank you. 2,500 is about 40 bucks. 40 bucks a month for a bed. And then you're within walking distance of the most desirable part of all the Philippines. Well, I mean, I guess that depends on your perspective, but financially wise. Hi, good afternoon. Hi. ¿Cómo está? Yeah. Can I just get a bottle of water?
Huh?
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah.
What is? Small, big, what?
Small, yeah.
Small.
Malo make not too big.
Yeah.
Full.
Water like this.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's good.
10 pesos.
That's magaling.
Yeah, small in time.
What's the name of this neighborhood?
Not.
What do you call this neighborhood?
It's never, it's here.
Yeah.
It's South Sembo.
South Sembo,
Yeah.
okay.
Makati.
Makati. Oh, so we're in Makati now.
Yes.
There we
Yes.
go.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody just left their cock out on the street. That can get you arrested in America if you do that. I don't know. People seem pretty friendly out here in the slums. I was warned that somebody's going to try and rob me while walking around here, but I don't get the impression that's going to happen. These views in this neighborhood are insane. Just imagine waking up every day looking at that over there. Wondering what kind of life they have. Just the same way that the people up there are wondering what kind of life they have down here. Where's Calayan Avenue? Is it that way?
Calayan Avenue?
Yeah.
You can go straight and then...
It's a good walk?
Yeah.
Nice people? Oh, good to know. Thank you.
3 kilometers?
3 kilometers. Alright. Really getting some exercise today. I think I heard another cock. Thank you. Salamat. Wow. So these guys will go fighting?
Yeah,
They do. Where do you take them to fight?
sometimes in Cateros, Mandaluyong.
Mandaluyong. Okay. And do people bet money?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay.
Some of them are friends.
Some of them are fans. Okay, wow. What does it take to have like a really good cock for a cockfight?
Yeah.
How do you train them?
This week I inspired it.
You spar them. Okay.
Gloves.
Oh, with gloves?
Yeah.
They wear gloves. Oh, that's wild. It's smelling very cocky in here. Thank you for showing me your cock. Yeah, you have a good one.
Yeah.
And good luck with the fighting. Ah, well, that was a first. Stumbled upon a cockfighting farm. Never saw one of those before. Hi.
Where you go?
Where I'm going? I'm just walking.
To Calayan.
Yeah. What are they building right here?
That's St. Luke's.
St. Luke's?
Yeah.
They're going to build a hospital?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
What you want to go in the BGC side?
No, I'm going towards Calian Avenue.
Oh,
I'll go back to BGC later.
okay.
Thank you. This whole area is just rapidly changing and changing. Developers over in the BGC area, the big ones, they're trying to buy up land out here, even in the slums now. Now that the COVID restrictions are over, the building is back. So you can see a big sign on top of this door right here. It says, "We accept bed spaces." That means you can get a bed here, just like the lady was talking about before. I guess for about $45 a month. It's a pretty nice building. I'm even thinking about it myself. So we're coming up on the outer limits of the barangay. Barangay in the Philippines is like a neighborhood, a hood. So now going from South Sembo to whatever this one is. I can see it up there. The next neighborhood, the next barangay is Pitogo. And that's South Sembo back there. So what is this? This is like the DMZ between the two barangays.
Medyo malitindahan na natin dito. At nawakan ako sa estudyante.
Excuse me, what is he announcing?
Mga nakapark lang.
Can't park. Oh, because of the truck. Okay, thank you. I don't have a car, I'm okay.
Good.
We're coming upon like a very busy area here now. It's getting a lot busier. Now there's another sign that says I'm in the barangay Guadalupe Nuevo. Which barangay am I in? Now this is a Southeast Asian street right here. Trying to figure out how the hell am I going to cross this intersection. Apparently, I am slowly getting closer to the Western Union. This guy's offering an entire room, but unfortunately, it's for ladies only. That discrimination. So it's very interesting. Even though we're in the hood, I don't have people aggressively coming up to me, panhandling, asking for money. I don't see homeless people strewn about everywhere. I don't see needles on the ground. I don't see people shooting up on the street. You have to wonder why that is. You may have heard about the controversial crime prevention program the Philippines took a few years ago under President Rodrigo Duterte. The program was the police were now allowed to go out into the street, and if they met a drug dealer or a drug user, they could simply shoot them right there on the spot. It's a bit like a far more brutal version of what we saw in El Salvador. And as you can imagine, it did have an impact on these neighborhoods. In fact, these neighborhoods that run up right against BGC, these were the neighborhoods that the police went into first. So they were the most visible. What kind of hotel is this? So I saw you could rent it just for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
I'm gonna go for 340 and 380.
I think we just stumbled upon a Japanese love hotel right here in Manila. The Hotel Sogo. If you're looking for a place to stay for just 2 hours, that's your spot right there. Manila statistically vies with Indonesia. They go back and forth for the title of the worst traffic in the world. This is a very clear visual example of that. According to my sources, the Western Union should be in this building over here. Yep, there's the sign right there. A little bit of air conditioning in here. A little more calm. Alright. Found it. Give me 1 second. Alright, I finished my money transfer to South America, and that still sounds really suspect. I guess that's it. Managed to walk through this entire neighborhood, this slum that many Filipinos are afraid to walk through. And wasn't too bad, to be honest. How should we end the video? I'm trying to figure that out. Where can I buy an umbrella like that?
Try here.
Okay.
This,
Alright, yeah. I have very sensitive skin, so. You know, I always get jealous when I'm walking around in Asia and I see all these women carrying umbrellas. When I'm the one that really needs it. Umbrella? Cover my head?
Umbrella?
Yeah. Okay. That's fine, yeah.
150.
Only pink?
Pink.
You have any other colors? Okay, I think. Alright, I'll buy a nice pink umbrella. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Thank you. It's 100?
100.
Okay, 100. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If I didn't attract enough attention already, now I've got a big pink umbrella. I'm embarrassed to admit to the Filipino audience that I've never tried Jollibee before. Jollibee is like the most successful fast food restaurant that didn't come from America. Never had Jollibee before. What do you recommend? Yeah, but what about this one? Ano masarap.
Masarap.
Yeah.
Jollibee.
Ano. Which one?
Jollibee.
Yeah. Is it what is good? The burger, spaghetti?
Yes.
Yeah. Which one do you like?
Oh, it's good.
Just there. Just anyone. All right. That was a very successful conversation. Let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and pick some. Thank you, sir. Jollibee's just kind of strikes me as if they just threw McDonald's and KFC together and then just randomly included spaghetti for no reason. All right, so this is what we got. We got a hot dog. We got the spaghetti because I mean, it's on the menu. That's novel enough. I gotta try it. And some fries. And I think this is iced tea. To be completely honest with you, not super excited about this meal, but I'm gonna hold my reservations. I should probably do the spaghetti first, since I'm even less excited about that one. Well, it's not the worst thing I've ever had. We'll try the hot dog now. Hot dog is a little bit better. The hot dog, I think I might actually finish, which is the biggest compliment I can give to anything on this tray right here. So that's about it for our little tour through the richest neighborhoods to the quote-unquote sketchiest neighborhoods. We've seen the different sides of Manila, one of the most unique cities in the entire world. Had a lot of fun. I always have a fun time when I come to Manila. But I gotta get away from the chaos for a bit. I think the next time you see me, we'll be back in the countryside somewhere, exploring. So, until then, ingaka. I like your umbrella too.